everyone and welcome back to more Going Local here with Inter Milan, where I'm going to be honest, it's really bad. Yes, we have gone all the way to the end of November. We're going to go into December in the episode. Want to go through a bit more quickly because we've been here, we've done that, albeit unsuccessfully, and I would quite like our time at Inter Milan, the season, just the save generally, to now be over, because the challenge we set out on, it went so well to start with, great times in Portugal, in Scotland, in Holland, and it's just collapsed. It's just collapsed. We've just had some generally poor performances, unlucky performances, and then just no real opportunities to compete because some teams are just too good. But anyway, this is the situation last season, where we of course nearly won the league, where we should have won the league. We only lost 3 games all season. We've already lost 3 games already so far. Not great. Obviously, last time we won 3-0 against Spezia. It was a good start to the season. That continued. A 2-1 win against Sampdoria, a 93rd minute winner from Eddie Salcido. I thought, great. We're getting some luck. It's going to be fine. 2-0 against Udinese. Brilliant. 1-1 with Ajax in the Champions League. I'm not too bothered about that at this stage. I just want to win things domestically. 2-0 against Fiorentina. Fantastic. We then drew 0-0 with Empoli. We should have won. So that was frustrating, very annoying. But I thought these things happen. A 4-0 against Bologna. Everything's looking really good. We then went 4-1 up against Arsenal in the Champions League. Fantastic. Arsenal, of course, no strangers to throwing away big leads in games, and we did the same thing. We threw away that lead. We were 4-1 up. In the space of 10 minutes, they scored 3 goals to level up the tie, and we held on for a point, but then that ushered in a period of very poor form that has already derailed any sort of title bid after last year's close run thing. A 1-0 defeat to Lazio. I don't know. The XG tells the story. We should have at least got a point from the game. We beat Torino 4-0, but that turned out to be something of a false dawn because we then proceeded to draw 0-0 with PSG. No real shame in that, but we lost 2-0 to Verona and then 1-0 to Brescia, which frankly are both utterly unforgivable results. A 1-1 with PSG to follow that up, which, decent, but they equalised in the 90th minute, so that's not exactly good. And then a little bit of upturn in form, a 1-0 win against Benevento, a 1-0 win against bottom of the league Cagliari, and then a 3-1 win against Ajax after that, which has left the Champions League situation finally poised. But we're not going to do the Arsenal game to wrap things up, purely because we are guaranteed to get into the Europa League at worst, which is fine by me. We still need to win that one, and we have more chance of winning that than we do the Champions League. But this is the Serie A situation, and we're in 5th. It's not good. We're only 6 points behind Juventus, I suppose. Juventus actually, we would, when we started dropping points, Juventus decided to drop some points as well. They lost 3-0 to Milan. If we capitalised on that, we'd be right up there. But we didn't. We haven't. We're behind Brescia, who of course they had a fantastic start to the season. Brescia, absolutely loving life. Did really well last season, finished in 7th. They are adding to that so far. We are falling backwards. I think we had our chance last year and we have blown our chance. It feels like that. But anyway, 2 league games today to try and keep our challenge in some sort of continuation. Napoli, and then some revenge hopefully against Sassuolo, who did us in on the final day of last season. I wouldn't say I was optimistic though. We've had a change around in certain positions due to some absolutely wretched form from certain individuals, which means Beretti's in goal because Bajic, who was great last year, decided this year to do his sort of stupidity in goal. Nabili is the surprise at left back. Ruggeri's been awful of late. Bastoni and Bakula, they're still there. Manzella's come in ahead of Hakimi, although actually I might bring Hakimi back in for this one. Indeed we will. Vranks is anchoring the midfield. Bonaccia is injured, so is Lorino, so Vranks is there, doing quite well so far. Mattis is still there, Pasquini's still there, but Sotil's on the left-hand side. Moise Keane, who started the season so well, got 5 in his first sort of 3 games, I think, has become awful. So he's not playing. Chukwuezi's not been much better, but he's on the right-hand side. And De Zuber as well. He's been dropped of late, but he's scored a couple of goals, so he's back in that starting lineup. Now, I wouldn't in any way, shape or form say I'm optimistic for this, but it's been our away form that's been wretched. We've got 2 home games So that gives me slightly more sort of cause for potential hope. But then, really, if this save's taught me anything, certainly since we left Portugal, hope is irrelevant. I think the way this season's going, whatever happens, I will probably be looking to leave Inter at the end of the season, as Sotil's in a great position, goes to the strike, and Ricardo Sotil, who's coming back in, as said, in place of Moise Kean, gets himself on the score sheet early on. Good early lead here against Napoli. I mean, I say early, it's nearly half time. We've not done much. But yeah, I think actually, as we see a very rare camera angle in the save, good interception from Matthias from the goal kick, finds Sotil, keeps his composure. It's a good strike. Poor goalkeeping, really, all round from the rival. And, we got the lead. But as I was saying twice, yeah, I do think we're probably going to leave at the end of the season. Provided there's a job, of course, because every time we want to leave, whether we are leaving because we've actually done everything in the country, or whether we're leaving because we're just sick and tired of the team we're managing, there's just nothing available, really. I mean, admittedly, I've turned down the Barcelona job at one point, but other than that, there's just nothing. I want a top Premier League job. I want the PSG job. Hour gone, and it's a chance for Napoli to equal things up, which they nearly do. Magno heads over, but we're looking relatively good so far, and it seems to be Napoli that come out fighting in the second half. They want to get themselves an equaliser. Sarr puts it in, Hakimi heads away, and we can potentially strike on the counter. Sotil, lots of space to run into. He's found De Zuba, who stays on side. Can he find the effort? Yes, he can. Roman De Zuba with his 8th of the season. He's not been anywhere near as prolific as last year. Some wretched games. He's had several opportunities where I think he's hit the post from a one-on-one about 3 times. But this time he gets it right. Great control. Great run. It's a fantastic goal from De Zuba, actually. The definition of a counter. And we are 2-0 to the good. I've kind of written off our title ambitions already. Those defeats were certainly very poor. We've still got to play Roma and Juventus twice. We've got to play Milan twice as well. It's still quite early on in the season. We're only 3 points behind Roma. We're potentially 6 points behind Juventus. It's not a disaster, but we're going to need a few more results like this to help us. Good performance against Napoli. That is more like it. We started off the season quite well. It faded away a little bit, but that's the kind of thing we need. And if Juventus could maybe drop some points, then actually we're back in contention, albeit with a lot of other teams around us. We are having a bit of a problem as well. Juan Matis is attracting interest from the definitive Football Manager randomly rich and players want to play for them team, Hertha Berlin. They finished 3rd in the Bundesliga every single year for nearly the last sort of 5-6 plus years. They're currently top of the league, albeit only just over Bayern Munich. Maybe we'll go there. Maybe we'll manage there. Anyway, Matthias is attracting interest. He doesn't want to sign a new contract, which is great, but he's got a few years left on his deal, so I don't care too much. Well, the board have given us some more money to spend, £48 million. That's nice. The problem is, of course, as ever, we are obviously limited by who we can sign. Can only sign Italian players for the most part. I think this challenge would have been easier and indeed sort of more possible if I hadn't added in that aspect of it. If we just tried to win the trophies with a normal transfer policy, it might have been a bit more possible, but I had to make it extra difficult and it didn't. It's not worked out very well, has it? And I wasn't actually paying any attention, but I just looked at the table and indeed, Juventus have lost. They've lost their game in hand to Fiorentina 3-1. It's exactly what we needed. I wish I'd seen it. That would be good. Roma have then won their next game, so that's the situation at the moment. We are only 3 points behind Juventus, which is certainly interesting. So maybe not quite over just yet. And also a special occasion for the game against Sassuolo, my 600th game as a manager. Will we make it to 1,000? I think it really just depends on whether I still have the energy to do it. Right, if they could drop some more points against Bologna, if Lazio could do us a big favour against Roma in the big old Rome derby, and if we could beat Sassuolo, that'd be great. Unfortunately, we don't have a great record against them, but the morale is looking a lot better. We're going to keep the same team as the one that just dispensed of Napoli so well. And Pasquini on the ball already. Great interception. He's fed De Zuba, who needs no second invitation. Gets a deflection. The second one, though, it goes just wide of the post. Neubel got a touch on it. Very unlucky from De Zuba. We've clawed ourselves back in, really, more by luck than judgment, into this title race, having looked already quite far out of it. We need to capitalise on this now by winning this game and hoping more points are dropped. Having a few flashbacks to the end of last season where, of course, we played Sassuolo, we lost to Sassuolo, and it didn't matter in the end because Roma won their game, but had they not done so, then if we beat Sassuolo, we could have been champions, and we should have been champions before that. Anyway, as Pasquini opens the deadlock, no repeat from last time because at least we'll have scored a goal. Much more like it. Great finish from Pasquini past the goalkeeper. Nobili gets the assist, he's not amazing in terms of attributes, but he's doing quite well since breaking into the team. He's got a lot of potential, and sometimes I think with regens, you just need to just give them a go, even if they're not sort of, on paper ready for the first team. If they've got the potential, just give them a go, and then that's the best way for them to develop. Sassuolo not done yet, though. They've cut through our defence. Viola's in, and Viola scores past former Sassuolo goalkeeper Yari Moretti. That was clinical. That was poor defending. Our defence nowhere near as good as last season. Nowhere near as good, and that is just too easy. We've got 5 defenders back there. I've no idea what we're doing. Not a clue. Simple ball over the top. Basic stuff. That is non-league stuff. And that was poor. We look to strike back though. Nobili plays it forwards. He's just giving it away, but the header away is not a great one. Of Ranks can then re-intercept. Satil looking to ping it out to Chukwueze. Good control from the Nigerian. Cuts the inside. He's not going to go for a shot, is he? He pulls it back to no one. Wearing a blue shirt anyway, but Nobili gets it back once again. And there's still an opportunity here if we want to take it. Matthias to Chukwueze, slips it back into the Frenchman, and Matthias gets his 3rd of the season. That was more like it. That is a good, well-worked move, and we got the lead again. Much, much, much better from the boys. Slide rule pass from Chukwueze. First time finish from Matthias, and we're back in front. Well, at half-time, we just got some great news from Rome, and that is that Roma are winning. So not great news at all, really. They would maintain a 6-point lead ahead of us, which is not exactly what we want. We want them to be dropping points. Otherwise, we're going to lose the league to them again, just like last year, as Sassuolo go close to an equaliser. We need to get a 3rd ready to put this game to bed. Hakimi whips it in. It's cleared away by the defender, but Ranks picks up the ball. Here's Nobili. He's in behind, slips it across for De Zuba, and De Zuba on a plate. Even he's not going to hit the post from there. He puts it away, and that should hopefully be a bit more comfortable. Could be more. Matthias on the ball. Hakimi working nicely with him. Whips it back across. Ranks again. Has done pretty well. Could we get another one? Chukwueze with the corner in. Bastoni doesn't get there. It is put away by Bakula. It's not going to count, I think. Yeah, I thought it was an own goal. It's not an own goal. It's an offside. I don't like offsides. I don't approve of offsides when they are given against us and it stays at 3-1. That is right on the line. It's doing the flashy thing, which generally speaking means it's wrong, but there we go. Throw from the left-hand side. Nobili's effort is cleared away, but Ranks again is first to it, and we can still potentially work an opportunity. Nobili again, heavily involved, having his best game, I think, so far. Puts it across. Pasquini's effort is well gathered by Neubel. Oh, it's the clock ticking down. Lazio have equalised, an 89th minute equaliser from Lazio. You love to see it. It's 3-1 here, 3 points, and our fortunes seem to have turned a corner somewhat. If that result from Rome is confirmed, indeed it is. Indeed it is. We move to 31 points, level with Juventus, who still have yet to play their 14th match. Rome have actually played their 15th game. So that means if we win a game in hand, we will be 1 point behind them. But then that's a big, big, big if. And Juventus have won their game, which is just great. But that's the situation. It's fair to say we are heavily more involved than we were at the start of the episode. But we enter a very interesting sort of period because, ideally, you would say we go with Roma and Juventus. The problem is that is the mid-season break, right smack bang in the middle of that one. And yeah, we could do that, potentially. We could do that, but it's going to be a bit awkward what we transfer windows like. To be honest, actually, because there won't be much happening sort of at the start of that, and they're going to both be such crucial matches. I think actually that's probably what we do. So yeah, that is what we will do next time. I think not much of a distance between now and then, but when there's such big games, I think That's what we need to do. But that is going to be that for today. Thank you very much for watching. Leave a like, subscribe, and all that sort of stuff. And I will see you next time, where our title challenge will probably come to an end.